folks, welcome to this Sunday's Sunday Catechism, and thank you to those of you who've been in touch. I'm glad that you're enjoying working through this wonderful book, which is a modern edition, slightly modified edition of the Westminster Shorter Catechism, and it's beautifully illustrated. Now we're going to do two again today. So the first one is question 43. What words introduce the Ten Commandments? The Ten Commandments are introduced in these words: I am the Lord your God, who brought you out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of slavery. What words introduce the Ten Commandments? The Ten Commandments are introduced in these words: I am the Lord your God, who brought you out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of slavery. And then the second one is, what does the introduction to the Ten Commandments teach us? The introduction to the Ten Commandments teaches us that because God is the Lord and our God and Redeemer, therefore we are bound to keep all his commandments. Now this is a very simple statement, but it's a statement that we reverse. So we think that, sometimes people act this way at least, that if we keep the commandments, then God will save us. But this is teaching that it is because God has saved us that we want to keep his commandments. So the preface is very easy. It's from Exodus 20 and verse 2, and what it means. We're given two scripture texts. One is from Luke 1:74, saying that being delivered out of the hands of our enemies, would serve him without fear in holiness and righteousness before him all the days of our life. So we are delivered, then we want to serve him. And the other is 1 Peter 1:15. As he who's called you is holy, so be holy in all that you do, in all the way that you walk, or the King James Version had it, manner of conversation. Because it is written, be holy because I am holy. And he goes on to talk about how you call on the Father who judges each man's work impartially. Well, I think, again, that's just saying the same thing. You were redeemed not with corruptible things, but with the precious blood of Christ. A lamb without blemish and without spot. So our motivation for keeping law, and it's a very simple thing, is because we love Christ. We don't do the things to get him to love us. So let's say, for example, I don't know, let's say you are married and you're a man like me, and you decide that you're going to do the dishes and clean up the house and do what you can. And you do that because you love your wife. You don't do it because you're trying to get her to love you. If you're doing it because you're trying to get her to love you, then surely there's something wrong there. There's something profoundly wrong with the relationship. Also doesn't work. Whereas this one, where obedience to God's law is seen as a response to God's love. So, sorry, forgive me, I got something in my eye. This is Easter Sunday, and we are remembering that Christ died for us, and remembering that Christ rose from the dead. And I think one of the things that should make us want to do is it should make us want to please God and make us want to keep his law. So reflect on that this Easter. The Ten Commandments are not irrelevant to the cross and to the resurrection. In fact, they're very key to it. They themselves show us why Jesus needed to die for us, but they also enable us to have a kind of motivation, or at least we have a motivation to obey them because we want to please the one who died for us. All right, that's the introduction to the Ten Commandments. We're going to go on to the commandments, and next week we shall look at the first commandment and what it requires. God bless you, and see you then. Bye.